Hi and welcome to Stamping with Linda, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is my first video in a series called Creative Fold Cards. And so I am going to teach you how to do a flip card with our framettes. If you're not a member of my YouTube channel, you will want to make sure that you subscribe at Linda Bowen YouTube, and that way you will not miss any of the upcoming videos with different folds. So let's get started. First off, for the first couple videos that I will be doing, I will be using the Best of Flowers set. Stampin' Up! Is celebrating 25 years in business, and every month they are coming out with a new stamp set, the Best of. First in January it was Best of Birthdays, then it was Best of Love. This month is Best of Flowers, and when I looked at this set I thought, well, I already have the hydrangea, and I already have this flower, and I have that flower, and this flower is the brand new flower in this set. So why would I purchase this? Well, the stamps are a different size than the original stamps, so you will see some fun ways to use this set in the upcoming weeks. Something, if you buy the Best of Flowers or any of the Best of sets, you will get a collector's card like so. Over the next year, again, every month we will be featuring a new Best of set, and if you purchase 6 sets by April 30th of 2014, you will be able to redeem this card and get a $14.95 set of your choice out of the catalog. The thing you need to remember is when you're removing your decal, there is a small 25 there that you need to place on your card. If by chance you would buy 12 of the Best of collection, you would be able to pick 2 $14.95 sets. Each set, every month, like I said, a new set will come out, but the old set stays available, so you can still get Best of Birthdays, Best of Love, and this month, which is March 2013, you can get Best of Flowers. So let's get started on our flip card. First off, I took a card that cardstock that was 8.5 by 11. I cut it in half at the 4 1/4. So I have a sheet of cardstock 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score this card in half. Now, I am using the personal trimmer. Love the personal trimmer by Stampin' Up! If you don't have it or haven't used it, you need to give it a shot. I'm also going to score at 2 3/4, which is half of the front fold. So I've got my card scored in half. So this flip card you can do with any size card. You just need to cut or score your card in half, and then take the front of your card and score that in half. So now I have my flip. I'm going to bring in my big shot, and I will be using my oval framelets. These are 6 different ovals available in the spring catalog from Stampin' Up! On page 4. They run $26.95, and I am going to take that frameette and center it in the middle of my middle score line. I've got painter's tape, and I've just taped that down. And what I'm going to do, when you use your big shot, you need to have the correct sandwich, and I see that I am missing one of my sandwiches, so I'm going to go get that. I should have said I was missing one of my layers for my sandwich. Normally we would use tab 2 with a big shot, the 2 cutting mats, and our cardstock and our frameette. But I only want to cut half of this oval. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sandwich and not put it completely over the oval. When you're doing this technique, you want to make sure that your excess cutting mat goes into your big shot first, because if you don't, if you put it in this way, the rollers would hit this cutting mat and shoot it off, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just laying that top cutting mat on my score line. So when I run it through the big shot, even though I ran it all the way through, because my cutting mat was on my score line, it only cut to that score line. So I've got half of my oval cut out. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my fancy fan folder. I do not like the looks of that score line, so I want to kind of hide that with my embossing folder. If the card you're doing is bigger and you don't have an embossing folder big enough to cover up that score line, you can always put a piece of ribbon or a piece of cardstock or designer series paper down that score line. So I've got that lined up, going to run that through my Big Shot. So now I have my flip card, like so. So now I need to decorate it. I'm going to go into the Best of Flowers set again. This is the hydrangea. Again, this was a set that, or a stamp that was a hostess set. It was a very large hydrangea. This one is a smaller one. All of the flowers in the Best of the Flowers set are smaller. I'm taking my Elegant Eggplant and my Wild Wasabi markers and inking on the back of the stamp, because those customers that know me know I do not like to color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small piece of cardstock. I'm going to stamp that like so. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to go in with my blender, and I'm going to kind of pull this up so that you can see it. When I take my blender, because this is classic ink, you can see I am coloring that hydrangea just with my blender pen. When I want to get rid of that purple, I'm just going to take a scrap piece of the paper, go on the side and color that in, and then go into my Wild Wasabi. So I've already done ahead of time this flower. I've also added some yellow marker, you can see, and some dazzling details. So that is the perfect size. I cut it out with the oval because it is one size smaller than what I did for my flip card. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in, add some adhesive, add that to the front of my card. This card can be done as any type of card, especially if you do not put a verse in. I suggest doing several of them. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 in the Wisteria Wonder. I'm going to put that in the inside of my card like so. A piece of Whisper White, 3 1/4 by 5. And again, if I didn't put a greeting on this flip card, it could be anything from sympathy to wedding, whatever. If I have one of my favorite stamp sets is the Teeny Weeny Wishes. It's found on page 133. It has 24 different greetings. I'm going to use the Get Well greeting. I used my Elegant Eggplant marker, so now I'm going to use my ink pad and just stamp my Get Well wishes, and there you have it, a fast and easy flip card. Hope you've liked this first series in my Creative Folds, and again, if you're not a member of my YouTube channel, you'll want to subscribe because you'll want to see the upcoming different fold cards. Thanks for joining me.